Hello, good morning on this February the 3rd, 2026. Coming to you with the channel of Death is Not a Death Sentence on this Tuesday rainy morning, which I'm really happy is raining because that way it can melt some of the snow. So goodness sake for that. I'm really happy about that. But anyway, this video is about, motivational speaking. Hopefully somebody can resonate, somebody can take it in and it helps someone. So please like and subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. And guys, let's get into the topic. Okay, the topic is going to be about God will isolate you before he elevates you. And a lot of times people sit there and they think like, okay, well, what do you mean by that? Have you ever just got out of a situation or relationship or a situationship or whatever have you, and you feel lonely, you feel sad, you feel like, goodness gracious, at least I had somebody, but now I don't have anyone or whatever. So, and then you see people that, who you used to talk to, you haven't talked to in a long time, or you cut certain people off and things of that nature, and you just really just isolated. You to yourself, you find yourself just probably going to the park by yourself, watching, watching a lot of TV or probably on social media, and just really kind of doing your own thing in your own world. Maybe you're, just doing your own routine and things of that nature, and you just pretty much alone, but before God can elevate you, he has to isolate you. And the reason why God has to isolate you is because so you can get clarity and you can start to heal and you can start to grow and you can start to have clarity and knowledge and discernment and things of that nature. So it's just isolation is not bad. Isolation is healing, from all wounds, not just the relationship that you were in, or it could be from childhood. There's something that you never let go. It can be from bad relationships or experiences. It could be from like bad jobs. It could be from just hurt and pain, that you dealt with that you haven't really, really, dealt with in the inside. On the outside maybe, but deep down in the inside, you haven't really dealt with it. And when you get isolated, it forces you to deal with the inside pain. And a lot of times we don't like to deal with the inside pain, but God knows that we have some type of pain in us and we have not dealt with it. We can't fool God. We could fool other people, but we cannot fool the Lord. So, and that's why he isolates you before he elevates you, because he wants you to take care of those ailments that you didn't, put deep down and you have not dealt with. So, if you sit up there and you be like, well, I have dealt with everything, so I don't know why I'm just stuck. I'm stuck and I'm just by myself, and it seems like I'm never going to find someone, or it seems like, I'm just gonna be alone forever, and nobody's good enough for me. I mean, everybody's out there just doing the most, and you know what? I want peace, and that's it, and I don't never want anyone else. And okay, that's fine. That's fine, but that comes from a sense of hurt. That comes from a sense of pain. One thing that you cannot lie to, one person, and besides God, is yourself. You can't lie to yourself. Only what really hurts you. And sometimes we get so delusional, like in our thoughts and everything like that. We start thinking like, you know what, well, maybe we don't have any pain or anything like that. But just sit down and just really, really focus and go through your life, inside, by yourself, and just really just go through your life and be like, I wonder what's really truly bothering me. Because a lot of us have attitudes, or a lot of us, we get frustrated, we get to crying sometimes, and we don't even know like why we crying. But then if you sit back and you think about some things, it's right there, it's right there in your soul, in your gut, and everything, so that's why the isolation comes. The isolation comes because because of the simple very fact is that you have to deal with you. The real you that you've been hiding from is you within. And some people go get help and go talk to therapists or whatever, which is a great idea if that's what you want to do. But prayer always works for me personally. So, God could take away any pain, anything, and you just pray, and if you need to go see a therapist, and by all means go see a therapist, go find somebody to talk to. But I will say that, but the good part is after you get done with your isolation and things of that nature, you elevate, and then all of a sudden, things start looking up for you. And I always tell people, it don't just because it's raining doesn't mean the sun don't never comes out. The sun will shine again. So you're not going to always be in this season where you're sad and you're isolated and things of that nature. It just meaning that you have to just regroup. You have to refocus. And maybe it's like maybe you want to counsel, control on what you say to people, and maybe you want to concentrate on your business or your job or yourself, or or your children or your grandchildren or your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. It's something to reflect with you. You have to decide, what, in order for elevation to happen, it has to be some type of action to take. So, God does isolate you for a reason. It's just to really so you can get to know who you truly, really are. And so you can heal things. A lot of us have, problems with people in the family that we might have been mad for about 15, 20 years, or, might have friends, we've been mad at for 15, 20 years, and or exes or whatever. For a long time, you've been upset with them, or you just don't want to deal with them no more. And you just have not forgiven them, So that isolation comes from just forgiving people, just healing yourself, letting go all that, all that hatred towards them and everything like that. So isolation is just only the small part, because the elevation and the glow up is real. Once God elevates you, oh my goodness, not people start getting away from you, because people get away from you for one reason. They get away from you for one reason because they know they can manipulate you, they can't lie to you, and they know that they can't use you, because God has put you in a season where he isolated you, and he was able to teach you on how to be alone, for one, for two, and how to trust him, and only him. And and don't hate anyone, but still be true to God, and that's it. So isolation is not bad. It just means that God is working with you. God wants you to really focus on what's going on with yourself, So if you want that elevation, isolation has to come. It has to. I mean, there's just no way around elevation. So instead, endure that isolation. And no, it's not easy. It's not easy. As a matter of fact, it's hard. It's loneliness. But I promise you, you're going to have a great, great victory when your elevation comes. All right, guys, let me wrap this up. Death is not a death sentence. Please like or share this video and subscribe. I really appreciate it greatly. Jesus love everyone, and God bless everybody. Until the next video, I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.